All right, well, joining us right now, he's got to be a happy man. The 2020 NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series champion, Sheldon, the Showstopper Creed. Now, I heard him call you the California Kid, too. So which one is it, Showstopper or California Kid?
I don't know. Whatever interviewer or guy on TV is talking, I just let them go with their deal.
Because, man, it was beautiful. Now, granted, you've had 5 wins this year, this being your first championship. And I'd mentioned my buddy Bob Devlin, who's a huge fan. With 3 laps left to go, you guys pitted and changed tires. Was that a big factor to winning that race? Do you feel like that was a big factor?
I mean, yeah, that's what won us the race.
Because everybody else kind of stayed on the track. Now, was that a call from the crew chief? Did they say, hey, man, we're going to try to sneak this thing out? Because you went from 8th to 1st in less than a lap, dude.
Yeah, I was so free there. I think I fell back to like 4th before that caution come out. I was just so loose. I really had nothing for the 23 or the 98. So I feel like that was our only play. I wasn't going to beat them on old tires. So pitted, and there was like 18 trucks on the lead lap. Think. So we got lucky that a lot of them came with us. I actually restarted 9th. That's where we lined up. And then I didn't really know until we got down to 1 how much more grip I was going to have than the guys on old tires. And then once we got through 1 and 2, I was like, well, like we're rolling pretty good here.
Right. Now, winning is kind of in your legacy. You've been racing since you were 3, winning championships since you were 5. But how did this one feel?
This one was definitely the hardest to get, that's for sure. Just I feel like the older I get and the more the ranks I've climbed and all that, it gets harder and harder every year, and
Right.
competition gets stiffer. Just everything about it. It's more money, so that aspect's harder to get sponsors and
Right.
get rolling, and then the work it takes outside of it, the guys in the shop, like just everything, extremely tough. So yeah, this one's been the most rewarding, and yeah, I probably won't sit in until probably after I'm done racing the trucks. If I move up, then I feel like I can look back and see what we did. But right now, just focus on working towards the next win.
Now, I mean, obviously, given that point, it says how hard it was to win. What was the first thing you did when it actually sunk in? Now, you mentioned it hadn't completely sunk in, but after the championship, what was the first thing you did when it sunk in? Holy smokes, I'm the 2020 Truck Series champ.
Yeah, I mean, I really haven't even thought about it. Just it's exciting, like a weight lifted off my shoulders. I was like nerves were up on Friday, so yeah, to be able to pull it off like that and the way we did, obviously I would have loved to go and like dominate the race and win it that way, but
Right.
We were still fast. I mean, we were there all night, and then just right situation at the end for us. So I don't know, just a weight lifted off my shoulders really is probably how I felt.
Nice, because yeah, every champion, man, every competitor wants to just destroy the competition every time out the gate. So I understand that. And speaking of, you had the most wins ever in Super Stadium trucks, plus a silver and a gold medal. How do you feel about that kind of continuing? Do you see it happening in the truck series and maybe on up the line as well?
I mean, yeah, I would love to. I'd love to go and get as many wins as I can. I don't know in the truck series necessarily, because Kyle Busch has like 50. I don't even know if I'll race that many more truck races.
At 23, you can beat that easily, man. Come on now.
Yeah, it just depends. I don't know where my career is going to go. If I'm going to be like a Matt Crafton that races trucks my whole life, which I hope I go cup racing and feel like we can. But yeah, I'd love to just go and get as many wins as I can. I think Richard Petty has like 200 cup wins, so it's pretty insane for how many times a year they used to race, like 90 times a year.
Yeah.
It's a lot. So, and the competition wasn't as stiff then. So I don't know if you'll ever break those records, but I think this day and age, if you can be a Jimmy Johnson or with 83 wins, or if you can do that in your career and race cup for 15, 20 years, I think that's a really good goal to chase.
I see that happening because you do have that multi-tier talent, man. Cars, trucks, and you started in go-karts, right? You started racing go-karts as a kid?
Well, I did dirt bikes and BMX, and then I raced like quarter midgets for like a year, and like just didn't really like them. And then trophy carts came out, which is like a miniature off-road truck for kids. So like my little cousins race them now, but I grew up doing that and then moved up through the off-road ranks.
Nice. What's been your favorite so far?
Probably short course off-road.
Okay.
That was extremely fun. We owned our own team as a family. it's like just family and friends, like the whole pit area is. So that was really cool. Stadium Super Trucks was fun also. NASCAR is the most rewarding, but it's by far the hardest and most stressful.
Right. Now you mentioned your family coming up in racing as well. Did you get any good advice from your family before the last race in Phoenix?
Not necessarily. More just go out and have fun. No, they're gonna be proud of me, whatever the result was.
Right.
I probably got the best advice from like Josh and just the team guys around me. Just go have fun, focus, like you can do this. So
Right.
yeah, I mean my parents aren't really involved anymore like they used to be. Like my dad and my grandpa used to be super involved with my racing because we worked on our own trucks and did everything together. We're now like, it's so distant from it.
So you feel like you got the best advice from Josh. But what about anybody else from the GMS team? Did anybody pop in and say, "Oh, hey, this track you might want to do X, Y, and Z"?
No, I mean they all just focus on working on the truck. So yeah, Josh is who I work with every week on like motivation and stuff like
Right.
that. So
Right.
just
That's a good one to have in your corner. I mean, you got to admit that. That's a pretty good one to have on your team.
yeah, but then he's also doing it to 3 other teammates too. So
Right.
we all have the same deal coming in.
Right. So what's next? Have you already started, because you seem like to me to be one of those perpetual competitor/champions. Are you already prepping for next year? Have you thought about what you're going to do next?
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably take a few weeks off. I'm gonna go to California and see my family and everyone, and go race some dirt stuff out there, and then yeah, after that, December and January will be just prepping for next year on how to go and get better and how to go win.
What's your favorite track? What's your least favorite track?
Favorite track is Kansas. Least favorite is Richmond.
Really? Why?
Why? What's my favorite, or why?
No, see, because I'm an old South Boston, Virginia boy, so I know Richmond extremely well. So I mean,
Yeah.
why is I have my own reasons why I dislike it, but why is Richmond your least favorite?
Well, this was the first time we'd been there. I didn't see the place before the race this year,
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
and we were just not good. Like us as a company, we weren't very fast. So just I don't know, didn't like it at all. Like how it drove, I didn't like how it was real slick, but it just was different than anything I'd ever been on.
Right.
Yeah, I just didn't really care for it.
My uncle used to joke and say that track was made of pressed tobacco leaves, not asphalt, and that was one of the reasons why he didn't like it either, being up there in Richmond.
Yeah.
Now, you got a chance as a child to kind of travel and do racing, but have you ever actually had a chance to kind of tailgate at a race as just a fan?
No, I mean not as I've been older. I mean, I went to NASCAR races with my family when I was younger, but nothing as I've been older. Like me and my crew chief were actually just talking about that, like how much fun it'd be to go and just be a race fan for a weekend and go camp in the infield, and
Right.
no one would know who we are, and just go and enjoy it and cheer on the guys that we do cheer for in Cup and Xfinity.
If you could do that, what track and what race would you do that?
Oh,
Just to be a fan, just anonymous, just dude down there in the infield.
I think Talladega would be pretty cool, right? I think that would be a fun one too, to just go and enjoy and people watch.
That is probably one of the most fun
I don't know.
tailgating
If I ever
experiences.
get the opportunity, I'll take whatever track if it's there,
The chance to do it. Now, have you guys used RVs for travel, throughout your career, throughout your span?
Yeah, up until I really started racing asphalt, just because we're in hotels every week. But yeah, before that, it was all motorhomes.
Right. If you could take one down to Talladega as a fan, which RV would you take?
Like any
Any of them?
not an option.
Yeah.
Jump in a Newell.
There you go. Okay. Get you one of those $2 million coaches.
Something. If you're gonna go in luxury, that's it, right?
Oh man, let me tell you, they are some of the most beautiful things. Custom built too. Yeah, we got a chance to hop into one at down in Daytona, and that was my first time actually in one. And yeah, I tried to steal the keys from Josh, and that didn't go over too well. I was asked to leave the infield for a little while.
I got to walk in one last year, and I'm like, this is amazing. This is so nice. But maybe one day, I don't know.
Yeah.
Start with what I can afford, you know.
Oh, well, hey, that probably will be coming soon on the horizon. Now, what about your family? Because they RV to a lot of the races, don't they?
Yeah, yeah. So my dad has a Tiffin. Uh, he used to
Beautiful.
have a Pacero. Before that, we had a Residency,
Yeah.
like an old no pop outs, nothing. And then um, he got the diesel a couple years back, but he had that. My grandfather had a Monaco, but just sold it like last year, the year before.
Oh, those are beautiful too. Yeah.
Yeah, just um, I don't know, like all my buddies and friends all have trailers, like toy
Hmm.
haulers, like the Sand Sports, and what are other big ones now? There's
Oh,
Sand Sport,
vortexes, cyclones, fuels, fusions. Yeah.
yep, all those. There's a big one now too. RJ Anderson's sponsored by him. Um, I can't think of the name off the top of my head, but yeah, all toy haulers really out west because we all go to Glamis every winter and go to the
Right.
desert. So they all use them for that, and yeah, I mean all the family that's older that still goes all motorhomes now.
Now, if I understand right, your family rented out what about 20 spots there at Phoenix? Is that right?
In the
Yeah,
infield.
yeah, it's crazy.
Was that just all family friends, or was that you know, hey, we also got some folks we know are going to come see our boy win. Maybe the neighbors down the street. I mean, 20 spots is a lot, man.
Yeah, I mean there was like three or four like motorhomes in the spots that people had never met before, but everyone else was all like family and friends that I've grown up with, and it was pretty cool. They didn't use all 20; they just bought all 20 so they could have like space in between the motorhomes and like have like a big horseshoe kind of.
Smart.
So they had like lights, and it was like super cool to like hang out right there.
It sounds like the family's pretty strong at tailgating. Dan, did they have a good time when they get out there?
Yeah, yeah, they do it right.
They do it right. What's some of their favorite things they like doing while they're in the infield?
Big thing we like is cornhole, so we'll play cornhole like all day, all night. Um, and just hanging out by the fire. That cornhole, and then there's some like other games like that some people pull out, but I'm always at the cornhole boards.
Right?
So,
Are you pretty good at it? Because over here we call it cornhole, and then up north they got bags. And I
yeah.
consider
On the West Coast we call it bags, but everyone in here calls it cornhole.
I'm
Uh,
pretty proficient, man. I might have to take you up on one at one of the
yeah,
tracks.
as long as they don't go overboard on the beers, I'm usually pretty solid.
Pretty solid. How about if we make a bet? We'll pick a track. We'll do cornhole. I win. You let me take the last 10 laps in the truck at one of the races. You win. Um, I'll
I guess
pilfer a newel for you.
that's good. Good deal.
Deal. That sounds solid. Um, is there a track that your family prefers over others as far as just tailgating or bringing the RVs to?
I mean, not necessarily. They go. Our family friends, John and Leah, they're pretty much like an aunt and uncle to me. They do a road trip, or they didn't do it this year just because everything going on. But
Right.
they like to go and do. They do like Michigan, and then they do
Mm.
somewhere in Wisconsin if we go there, which the ARCA series went there,
Right.
and they have family up there. Then they'll do Eldora because they're all in the same kind of few weeks,
Hmm.
and they love Eldora. But I think for efficiency, I think everyone wished the truck series went to Fontana. That's only like an hour and 45 minutes from where I'm from, and
Yeah.
I have a bunch of friends that live in like Temecula that would go. So I wish we would go there before they tear it down one last time. I think the trucks would race really good there.
Yeah, I agree. It was funny. I was going to ask you if there were any tracks you guys would like to go to. Those were a couple that popped in my head just because of the California connection.
Yeah,
Um,
love to go there.
Yeah, those are. I mean, and there's so much fun. It's a completely different experience to go to a NASCAR race and do the tailgate, especially staying in an RV on the infield, than it is just hotel stay or just coming to the track. I think it's a life-changing bucket list for anybody who's never done it. So,
Yeah.
just my 2 cents. Now, are you a hunter or a fisher?
I don't claim to be either, but I do enjoy doing both of them. Actually, was actually shooting with Tyler Ankrum not that long ago. Me, him, and Brett were out shooting on his land and had a good time. He has like the automatic like pigeon thrower.
yeah.
Step on it. So I had a lot of fun doing that, but I've never gone hunting actually.
Really?
I've gone like dove hunting in California back when I was younger, and then I've always fished, but like nothing that I claim to be good at, right?
Right.
Just for fun.
Just for fun. Now you'd mentioned going down the lake with Brett. Is that Brett Moffitt?
Yep.
Okay.
So we obviously saw who's the better racer. Who's the better shooter?
Brett. He's
Oh,
done.
I got my.
All right, he's got his own gun.
Nothing against Brett. We love Brett. We love Brett. I'm picking on him here, but
Yeah, I don't. He's better. I give him that one.
because I was going to ask that, one of the things that some of our RVs have used for that some of the drivers do, they'll take an RV out, especially like a travel trailer. They'll use it as a deer blind. Have you ever seen or anybody do that, or have had the chance to do that yet?
I haven't. I haven't. I've seen cool deer blinds, but I've never seen a even camper.
Man, so sometimes those bunk models make great deer blinds. Now, toy haulers, you brought that up earlier too. One of my favorite things to do is back a toy hauler up to the lake and lower the deck down to the party deck mode and fish off the back. Have you ever had a chance to do that?
No, I've never even seen that. No.
Oh man, we got to.
In beach camp, or back when I was still living in California, and we had a lot of friends. Like if we get the spots that backed up to the sand, down and just we'd hang out off the back of the trailer, but nothing around the water.
Tell you, man, it's a completely different experience. That's another one. I think for 2021, what we're going to do is just get you to come join us for some of these RV trips. Have you kind of go on a little tour with us. Maybe when we do the tracks, we'll take you fishing, hunting, the whole nine. Show you how we do it right in an RV.
It'll be fun.
Now, when you were traveling as a kid, all the way up through an adult, and you had mentioned, the Pace Arrow and stuff like that your dad had. Do you have any RV memories as a kid, maybe with the track, at the track, away from the track, just all out camping, that when you think about them, it makes you smile?
Totally. I mean, we would do camping a few times a year, but mostly we were racing every week and every other weekend, so we were in it all the time. The residency that we had a tape player, right?
Oh, like a cassette tape or 8-track?
Yeah, cassette.
Right
The
on.
only thing it had was John Anderson. So I know, like all John Anderson country songs.
Just a swanger.
Yeah, like Someone to Win, Straight Tequila Night, like all those I know just from growing. I was like young, and that's all it played.
Hey, man, that's a pretty good education, though, in music right there. It's pretty strong.
And then Dad always making me dump it on the way back, which I hated. Got pretty good at it though. I could do I could be spotless.
Oh,
I got good.
man alive, that's a strong talent to have. There's a lot of pros out there that still can't be spotless when they're dumping those tanks.
It's hard sometimes. I'm gonna lie. But I hated the smell so much, and like if it like touched my hand, like I don't know, it grossed me out so bad.
Yep.
I like just got to be pretty clean about it, and then, yeah, I don't know, just every week being at the racetrack, just having fun with friends, always camping.
Camping does, just make the RV lifestyle, the NASCAR, the race lifestyle. Throwing an RV in there and camping there, I think just makes it so much more enjoyable. Just makes it's a completely different experience.
Yeah, and then got pretty good at driving them too. With I turned 15 and a half and got my permit. They would just let me drive the motorhome.
Really?
That young, yeah, and do that. And then once I was 16, my dad would drive our semi, his Class A, and then I would drive the motorhome to like all the races. So that was fun too, just traveling all the time and kind of going across the country.
I mean, if there was somebody I would trust, who was 16, 17, your age during that time, it'd be somebody who was already a champion at driving other things. So I could agree with that decision he made there, man. I can see that.
Yeah, I think just growing up around it, just learning, like I knew what I was doing, and like knew I wasn't gonna hit anything, or I don't know, just growing up from when I was a kid, just being aware.
Right. That's beautiful. Do you think that kind of helped you win the truck series, driving RV?
Sound about it sounds good, right? But I don't know. Yeah, just I always offered to drive the motorhome when I got the chance to.
Nice. Yeah, I don't see any motorhome that could handle like that number 2 Silverado that you had, but we might be able to take that to the designers and see if maybe they can tweak it.
right? I need to get some air ride on my racetrack now.
There you go. Now, what was the best part this year about that Chevy Silverado? I mean, you got 5 wins under your belt, series championship under your belt. Were there any changes, or because I know they're constantly working on it, but was there one thing that stands out in your mind this year that was like, oh man, when they did this to that Silverado, it just clicked?
I mean, yeah, I can't share that though, but yeah,
That's the
just
secret sauce, kind of like the chili in Texas.
yeah, Fab Shop guys and the guys at the shop just did a really good job on putting ideas together on what would work. And we actually struggled with a new tire there for a few races this year, but once we got a good balance, and then didn't really go far from it, honestly. Like we ran a lot of the same stuff everywhere, so that was kind of cool. We weren't having to jump all over the board. Where last year I felt like we had to jump over the board a lot, and
Right.
just whatever would work to go fast. It was a lot harder last year, so. Yeah, I don't know. Just the guys in the shop did a really good job in putting trucks together, and I'd say about halfway through the season, I felt like we hit our stride, and then just kept slowly making them better because we couldn't practice or anything,
Right.
and dial them in. You're just kind of trying stuff every weekend, and then we finally hit something that worked, and then just slowly dialed that in.
I mean, because you guys did overcome a huge challenge, especially with restrictions like they had this year. I mean, did that make things twice as hard, 3 times as hard, really didn't have an impact? How was that when it came to everything?
I mean, it just made it hard when you didn't fire off the truck good, right? Because you couldn't have time to fix it. But I felt like it played in my favor a lot because I can adapt really fast, and just, I don't know, coming from the dirt background, you have to be really aggressive and adapt fast. So I felt like it played in my hand pretty well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got to tell you, man, it was extremely impressive, not only what you did in Phoenix, to take the crown, but all the wins that you had this year, the background that you have, the way you handle yourself. We are proud at Gander RV and Outdoors, at Camping World, that you are going to be the defending champion of the NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series coming up this year. And Sheldon, man, we're excited for what everything is going to bring to you. I know it's going to be a lot. And it's got to be an exciting time for you right now, man. You have to feel pumped about everything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We appreciate you taking the time. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see you soon. And if we can ever do anything, man, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We appreciate your time. We appreciate what you're doing. And congratulations. We're excited to have you as the champ.